Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dakota's Political Circle. And today I want to talk about how Trump is leading in every single battleground state, which is insane to think about because if Trump wins just a certain number of battleground states within what I'm showing you, Trump can literally win the election. Technically, I believe he only needs Pennsylvania to win the election out of all the battlegrounds. But if he wins every single battleground, he's going to dominate the election no matter what. And I wanted to show you today that basically he's leading in every single battleground state. And he's leading huge in places like Nevada. He's leading by 6. That's the biggest battleground he has right now, which is insane to think because Nevada almost always votes Democrat in a presidential election. So it is just a big surprise seeing Trump that big in Nevada, even higher than North Carolina, which I would think North Carolina would probably be one of the highest, which it is. It is one of the highest with a 5.4, but it is not high as Nevada's average, which is insane to think because Nevada usually votes Democrat most of the time. And I wanted to show you specifically about Nevada real quick. So Nevada, right here. So Nevada, Trump in the latest poll shows that Trump is leading by 13 points in Nevada. Now that's a state you just don't see that happening. Now, obviously, it can be an outlier poll. It only has 614 likely voters. But you got to remember, this is Nevada. The highest you should see, even by an outlier, is maybe +8, +7. But seeing a +13 in Nevada, now that's a big advantage for Trump. Now, obviously, it can be an outlier, but look at every single other poll besides this one as of right here. Almost every single other poll shows Trump at least up by 4, other than the Hill, obviously. But every other poll shows Trump up by 4, +5, +8, +13. Like, that is just an insane amount for Nevada. And I want to show right here, let me get away from the Minnesota one. I want to show Nevada right here for the Senate elections. I want to show this really quick. So basically, as the latest poll, it shows Brown tied with Rosen, which is insane because most likely it's going to be really, really close when it comes to election day. But a lot of people were thinking that Rosen was going to be dominating Brown. Like, look at this poll down here. +8 Rosen. A lot of people thought that's what's going to be happening. It's going to keep being like that and stuff like that. I've been saying that when it gets to election day, it's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter, and I believe Nevada's going to come out on top in the election with when it comes to Senate and also presidency. And a lot of people think I'm dumb for thinking that, but you got to look at this poll. Obviously, it's the same poll that had Trump +13, but you got to remember this is the Senate, and also if it's even, that's a really good thing for Trump. Now, obviously, there was one that wasn't as recent that had a +8, but you got to remember it also had when it was facing Gunter, I don't know what his name is, but he had a +14. So I think when it gets closer and closer to the election, you're going to see more of the even and close advantages when it comes to the Senate. Yeah, I want to talk about that. Okay, let me get back to the presidential election. I want to put Minnesota back up here so I can talk about that soon. But yeah, Nevada going big for Trump as of right now, which is insane to think about because Nevada is a state you just never expect to be up by that much with a Republican candidate. Okay, so now I wanted to show you. So I did show you all these battlegrounds. I also wanted to show Minnesota. So a lot of people have been talking about Minnesota, saying it's probably not going to be a swing state and all of that. The only reason I think it could be a swing state is because of the third party vote. The third party vote, if a lot of people vote third party in Minnesota, Trump's going to win Minnesota, or at least come very, very, very close to winning Minnesota. I think it'll be if Trump does win Minnesota, that's a big advantage for him, and it also will probably win him the election no matter what at that point. But basically, the most recent polling out of Minnesota shows Trump up +3 and +5. Now, obviously, it is a Republican pollster, but even showing Trump up by that much is still a big advantage. And I believe the latest poll that was not from a Republican pollster showed Biden up +2, and also in the Real Clear Politics one, it does show a +2. I just don't have it up right now, but as the latest one. So I think as of right now, it's probably a +2, +1, depending. But that's why I think if Trump overperforms in Minnesota, I think the only way he can win Minnesota is if they get a lot of third-party vote share. Which, if Kennedy is in Minnesota as a third-party candidate, I get to see Trump winning Minnesota in that aspect. Now, I wanted to do this for you guys. I really wanted to make a quick map showing what could happen if Trump wins all of these averages. And also I'll even count, like, I'll go away from Michigan and Wisconsin just because the averages aren't based on, like, they aren't high, so I want to show the difference and all that kind of stuff, and also Minnesota just for fun. So okay, let's do the easy ones here. So let's do California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii. For this is for Joe Biden. All of these smaller states for Joe Biden, and also DC. We got Maine. Maine's first. We'll say Nebraska's second for now. Because we don't have a lot of polling out of there yet, other than one poll that showed Trump leading, but obviously that's only one poll. There's New York for Biden. Let's say Virginia for Biden. Illinois for Biden. Colorado, New Mexico for Biden. If I missed any, I will get to them soon. So let's go to Trump now. Let's give them Nebraska, 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 and then the Maine second. I'm going to leave off the swing states for now. So Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Missouri, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina. Actually, I accidentally put North Carolina. Okay, there we go. Tennessee. Oh, I put Georgia. Sorry. I got to remember swing states. West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, Alaska. I believe this is all the swing states. So, as of right now, it's 219 to 216. So, based on the averages, let's say Trump wins every single state except Minnesota. So, let's say Trump wins every single one of these states. Trump wins the election by 312. And Joe Biden obviously wins Minnesota based on the averages. Obviously, there's a poll saying Trump could win Minnesota. If that did happen, Trump would have 322. Now, I'm not going to expect that to happen, so I'm just going to put it as blue. So basically, there is any possible way Trump can win this election in a lot of ways. So let me say Trump doesn't win Wisconsin and Trump doesn't win Michigan. So let's say Trump doesn't win Wisconsin or Michigan based on the averages. So it switches. Trump still wins the election, 287. If he loses Pennsylvania, obviously he loses the election, unless Nebraska's second switches to Republican. Now, I'm not going to put Nebraska's second in here because there's only one poll out. If there was more polling, I would definitely put Nebraska second in the column, and no matter what, basically Trump would probably win anyway. But based on the averages, this is probably what's going to be happening. Nevada and Arizona and Pennsylvania, and also Georgia and North Carolina going to Trump. That's going to happen, probably, based on averages. Michigan and Wisconsin is one more of the iffy ones, but there's a lot of scenarios Trump can win the election here. So let me show you this. So Pennsylvania goes to Biden. Let's say Joe Biden gets Arizona. Let's say Trump gets Michigan. Trump wins the election with getting Nevada and Michigan. That's all he needs. And also obviously if he got Arizona, he could also win the election. If he basically, so the top ones right now, like looking right here. Hold on, so looking right here, the top ones are Nevada, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona. So basically, these states as of right here, not counting Michigan, would be in Trump's column no matter what. Now, obviously, you got to look. Obviously, Pennsylvania is a +2. You can't doubt that. Like, a +2 probably is going to go to Trump. Now, if it was +3, I would say guaranteed it's probably going to go to Trump. But I'm going to say +2. Yeah, Trump would lose the election in this scenario. But I just don't see it go from a 2-point swing at all. I just don't see that happening at all. So I'm going to say Trump wins Pennsylvania and loses Michigan, Wisconsin. But even in this scenario, just Trump winning Pennsylvania wins the election, 287 to 251. I believe if he loses Nevada and Arizona, he also wins the election. So it's literally up there, up to Pennsylvania. But based on polling, if Nevada is up by 6+ points and Arizona up by 5+, that just shows that he's going to win those states no matter what. It's more about Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin at this point. So if I took away Pennsylvania, Trump doesn't win the election. But if he gets Michigan, he wins the election. If he doesn't get Michigan and wins Wisconsin, he also wins the election. So basically, in this scenario, all he needs, and also if you really want to say, if Trump wins Minnesota, he also wins the election. So, but I'm not going to count that one. I just don't see that as more likely as Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania are. But basically, in this scenario, and based on averages, because he's going to win Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Nevada, basically no matter what. It's mainly these 3 states right here. So, in my opinion, I think any of these 3 states will get Trump the win. Now, obviously, there is Nebraska second. I don't want to say it, but obviously, if Trump did win Nebraska second, no matter what, it's going to be tied and he'll win the election, even if he doesn't win these states. But just to make it a little bit more realistic, let's say he doesn't win that. And so basically, any of these 3 states, that's all he needs. Any of these 3 states, he wins the election. That's just basically how it is. That just shows how good Trump is doing right now. And him being up +2 in Pennsylvania, that just gives him the election victory right there. So even if he loses Michigan and Wisconsin, he wins the election with Pennsylvania based on averages. So honestly, Trump's going to win the election no matter what. Now, obviously, don't get complacent or anything like that, but I'm just saying, based on averages, Trump's going to win the election. Like, literally every single poll has him up. The only ones that have gone down, Wisconsin and Michigan. So if he loses Wisconsin and Michigan, he still wins the election. It doesn't matter. It's basically just up to Pennsylvania. That's basically it. That's literally the only state that matters as of right now. Now, obviously, you should still pump stuff into Wisconsin and Michigan, no matter what, because you have to try it every single state you can. And also Minnesota, maybe, just to try to dominate that election. But basically what I'm saying is, no matter what, Trump is looking like he's going to end up winning the election hands down, even if it is a close call. Literally all he needs is one of these 3 states. That is literally all he needs. If he gets one of those 3 states, he wins the election, because he's going to win Nevada and Arizona based on averages. There is not going to be a 6-point swing or a 5-point swing. It's just not going to happen. So basically, all Democrats have left is Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, and I believe they have to get all 3. Yes, they have to get all 3 of those states. So they have a big tall task right now, just getting all 3 of those states. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I just wanted to talk about how every single battleground state is literally going to Trump right now. And Trump is leading in every single polling aggregate there is. Trump's leading against Biden in the polls. Trump's leading against Biden in the battlegrounds. Basically, Trump's leading in almost every single thing. So I just don't see a reason Trump loses this election. If Trump lost this election, I'd be very, 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 very surprised. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. My next video obviously will be out on the 15th, 16th, and the 17th. Like I said in my last video, the 15th, 16th, 17th will be my map predictions, like I do every month. Well, actually, the 15th, 16th will be my map predictions. The 17th is going to be my West Virginia primary, basically a video of me reacting to how the primary ended up, like what the results were and that kind of stuff. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.